What if I told you that buried within an ancient text lies one of the most powerful leadership manuals ever written, containing strategies that shape nations and continue to influence billions of people today? Welcome back to the channel where we decode history's most fascinating documents. And today we're diving deep into Deuteronomy, the fifth book of the Bible that reads like a masterclass in governance, psychology, and human nature. Picture this scene. You're standing at the edge of the promised land after 40 years of wandering in the wilderness. Your legendary leader Moses, now 120 years old, is about to die, and he's delivering what might be history's most consequential farewell speech. This isn't just any goodbye. This is Deuteronomy, which literally means second law in Greek, and it's about to blow your mind with its sophisticated approach to building a lasting civilization. But here's where it gets really interesting. Deuteronomy isn't just religious text. It's a revolutionary political document that introduced concepts we take for granted today. We're talking about the separation of powers, limits on executive authority, mandatory education systems, and even early forms of social welfare. Ancient scholars were essentially designing a constitutional democracy thousands of years before the term existed. Let me paint the picture for you. The Israelites have been nomads for 4 decades, and now they're about to transition into a settled agricultural society. Moses knows this shift will create entirely new challenges: economic inequality, corruption, foreign influence, and the temptation to abandon their core values. So he crafts this brilliant strategic document that addresses every potential pitfall. The genius begins with the structure itself. Deuteronomy follows the format of ancient Near Eastern treaties, but with a twist that would make modern political scientists jealous. Instead of one king making demands of his subjects, this presents a mutual covenant between the people and their principles. Moses establishes that even future kings must handwrite a copy of these laws and read them daily. Imagine requiring every president to personally transcribe and study the Constitution every single day. But wait, it gets better. Deuteronomy introduces the concept of cities of refuge, essentially an ancient witness protection program for people who committed accidental manslaughter. This wasn't just about justice. It was about preventing blood feuds that could tear society apart. The text also mandates that judges investigate cases thoroughly, requiring multiple witnesses and threatening severe penalties for false testimony. We're looking at sophisticated legal principles that wouldn't look out of place in a modern courtroom. The economic policies outlined here are absolutely fascinating. Every 7th year, all debts were cancelled, a complete economic reset that prevented the accumulation of generational poverty. Every 50th year brought the Jubilee, where all property returned to original family owners. Imagine if student loans were automatically forgiven every 7 years. Or if inherited wealth couldn't compound indefinitely. These weren't just idealistic dreams. They were practical policies designed to maintain social stability. The educational mandate is equally revolutionary. Parents were required to teach these principles to their children constantly, while sitting at home, walking along roads, lying down, and getting up. This wasn't weekend Sunday school. This was comprehensive, integrated education that made every citizen responsible for maintaining cultural values. The text literally commands people to tie these teachings to their hands and foreheads and write them on their doorframes, making core principles impossible to ignore. Moses also demonstrates remarkable psychological insight by acknowledging human nature directly. He warns that prosperity will lead to pride, that success will breed forgetfulness of foundational principles, and that future generations will be tempted to abandon their heritage. He's essentially predicting the exact challenges that would face this society centuries later. The foreign policy sections read like ancient international relations theory. There are detailed protocols for approaching warfare, treating prisoners, and managing conquered territories. But here's the kicker. The text also includes environmental protection laws, mandating that even during siege warfare, fruit trees couldn't be destroyed because they benefit future generations. Perhaps most remarkably, Deuteronomy establishes the principle of prophetic accountability. A a system where religious leaders could challenge political authority when it strayed from foundational principles. This created an institutional check on power that was incredibly advanced for its time. As we wrap up this deep dive into one of history's most influential documents, consider this. Whether you approach Deuteronomy as religious text, historical document, or political theory, its impact on human civilization is undeniable. From the Magna Carta to the American Constitution, from concepts of human rights to modern legal systems, the fingerprints of these ancient principles are everywhere. The next time someone dismisses ancient texts as irrelevant to modern life, remind them that some of our most cherished democratic ideals were first articulated by a 120-year-old leader standing at the edge of the wilderness, crafting a blueprint for human flourishing that still resonates today. What aspects of Deuteronomy surprised you most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating explorations into history's most influential documents.